Hey everyone, welcome to Yoga with Maria. I'm Maria, and today we've got a half moon pose flow for you. So we're gonna move together and then we're gonna break down half moon pose so that you can feel strong and confident in this posture. It's one of my favorites. So grab your mat, grab your space, make sure you're subscribed to this channel, and let's get started. Alrighty guys, let's get started. If you have your two blocks, place one at the front end of your mat and one at the back end of your mat. And then meet me in St. Louis. Just kidding. I'm from near St. Louis, but actually meet me in child's pose to start off this half moon pose flow. Forehead comes to the mat, hands reach forward. Breathe in, breathe out. Take another cycle or two in and out. Walk the fingertips a little bit more forward and then walk the fingertips over to the right. Let the head fall heavy again. See if you can sink the left hip back down towards the left heel. Breathe in. Breathe out. Walk the hands back through center and then take them over to the left. Sink the right hip down as you arrive. Breathe into that right lung a lot. Breathe in. Breathe out. Again, inhale. Exhale. Walk the hands back forward. And then come up to hands and knees. Find 90-degree angles in the body, hips stack over the knees, shoulders stack over the wrist. Breathe in, drop the belly down, look forward for cow pose. Breathe out, round the spine, take the seat to the heels, child's pose. Breathe in, come back for cow, belly drops, chest reaches forward, look up. Breathe out, round the spine, tuck the toes, lift the hips. A very bent leg down dog, but then just walk the hands forward. Find a little bit more space between the hands and the knees. You can pull out the feet a few times here, opening up the backs of the legs. Breathe and roll to plank pose. Stack shoulders over wrist. Breathe out, hips reach up and back, downward facing dog. Come back to hands and knees. And then you'll tuck the right toe behind you, spin the heel down, and lift your right arm up. So you're in just a supported side plank here. And then see if you can float the right leg up off the mat. Flex that foot a lot. We're going to find a similar shape again when we come to half moon pose. Take one more breath in. Yeah, use the belly. And then come back to hands and knees. If that felt hard, don't worry about it. Don't think about what's coming next. Just stay with your breath. Stay with me. Tuck the left toe back behind you. Spin the left heel down. Press the right hand into the mat. Left arm reaches up. And then see if you can float that left leg. Yeah, start to find what muscles need to activate. The core has to be engaged. That lifted leg has to stay really strong. Good, and then hands come back to the mat. Come to down dog, tuck both toes, and then bend the knees and just start to walk the toes to the front of the mat. When you arrive, take a half lift, and then take the hands to the waist. Use, or keep a flat back and lead with the chest and rise all the way to stand. So nice. And then you're just gonna take a big old step back with the left foot. And heel toe the feet quite wide. Good. Hands or arms come to a T or out on either side. And then let's start by turning the right toes 90 degrees and turn the left toes in about 10 degrees or 15. Use the belly. We're going to come to triangle pose to start. If you're not familiar with triangle pose, I'll link to a video all about triangle pose now. That's right. That's a shameless plug right in the middle of this video. So reach forward, cut the hips back towards your left foot, and then reach forward and down. The right hand can come to the ankle or the shin Left arm reaches up, gaze comes up. You have an option here to go ahead and take this block and place it outside the right foot. See if you can find length on the sides of the body, especially this underside. So keep reaching the right hip back and the right armpit forward. Good. Engage the legs, start to fire up the legs. Knit the front ribs together and then turn the chest open towards the ceiling. Take one more cycle of breath in and out. Use the legs, use the belly, lift all the way up to stand. Tee the arms. Right toes turn in, left toes turn out 90 degrees. Make sure those back toes are turned in just a little bit. And then reach forward. Left hand reaches forward and then down to the left ankle, shin, or a block outside the foot. Right arm reaches up. Both legs are straight. Low belly pulls in towards the spine. Knit the front ribs together and then see if you can turn the chest up towards the ceiling. Fingertips reach in opposite directions. There's fire and power through the arms. Legs are engaged. Good, and then use the belly and the legs. Lift yourself up to stand. Take the hands to the waist for a moment. Parallel the feet. So we're going to come into half moon pose now, but we're going to come to it through triangle pose. So this is where I recommend having the blocks handy if we're going to use them in half moon. So again, turn the right toes 90 degrees, left toes turn in just 10 degrees, tee the arms, cut the hips back, reach forward and down. This time try to take a block underneath the right hand, left arm reaches up. Find your triangle pose. Feel strong in the legs. So you're engaged in the legs, the belly's engaged, you have a lot of length on the right side of the body. And then from here, left hand is going to come to the left hip. The gaze is going to come down. So take a look specifically at your right pinky toe. Once you've got your gaze, put a little softness into the right knee, so bend into the knee. You're going to pick up your block with your right hand and take it forward about 12 to 18 inches outside the right pinky toe. So it does come a little bit to the side. Don't try to line it up with the right foot. So it's going to come back behind you a little bit. As you reach forward, the left leg's going to float up. As it floats up, engage it. It's fired up the whole time. The left foot is flexed. This is half moon. Press down into your block. Maybe the left arm reaches up. You can play with taking the gaze to the side or even up towards the hands. Both legs are super engaged. One thing to look out for, look down at your toes. There's a huge tendency to want to turn because you're balancing on this like one really thin plane. A lot of people want to turn their right toes to the left. Make sure that the toes are pointing completely straight. Your ankles should be parallel to the front of the mat. You really have to keep working to externally, it'll feel like almost external rotation in the standing leg. And that's what's really helpful about putting the block a little bit more to the right, because then you've got something to lean back into. So you definitely want to start with the base being strong and aligned correctly and then work from there. Put a bend into your right knee and step back. Come to stand up. Turn your right toes in. Turn the left toes 90 degrees. Turn the right toes in just a little bit. Come to triangle pose on your left side. Left hand comes to the left shin or ankle. Actually, let's take it to the block. Right hand reaches up. Find your triangle pose. Feel the kneecaps pulling up towards the hips. Gaze goes up at the hand for a moment, and then we'll take that left hand to the left waist. Gaze comes down. Take a look at your left pinky toe, and then once you find it, soften the left knee and begin to reach that left hand forward. About 12 inches. For some of us, it'll be 18 inches, just so that the wrist is underneath the shoulders. As you come forward, right leg floats up, flex the foot a lot, engage the leg, and see if you can stack that right hip right on top of the left. So you want the hips open and broad here, but keeping those left toes pointing directly forward. And then you can keep the hand on the waist, or right hand can reach up towards the ceiling. Gaze can come to the side or up. And then soften your left knee, float back. Tee the arms, turn the toes in. Hands come to the waist. Heel toe the feet a little bit closer together. Take the hands to touch in front of the heart. Feel the feet grounding down. Notice how you feel here. Notice the breath. Come back to the breath. Notice the energy in the body. And then tuck the chin. Be grateful for yourself always, and be grateful for the practice of this, the teachings of this practice. Namaste, yogis. Thanks for joining today. Practicing half moon pose focuses a little bit more on the legs and the core. So if you want to have a well-rounded practice today, check out my Yoga for Shoulders video right here on YouTube. It'll help you open up this upper part of the body, open up the chest, and really activate the shoulder. So check this one out, and I'll see you there.